with your heart. Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All Guru Shri Prabhupada, welcome devotees to today's class. Today we are going to be discussing from Chaitanya Charitamrita. I just remembered. I'll just wait for Maharaj to come. Oh, okay. Hare Krishna Maharaj. Today's class will be on chapter 7, and the chapter is entitled Lord Chaitanya in 5 Features, and we'll be covering a couple of verses today. We're very happy to have His Holiness Candramauli Swami with us. Hare Krishna Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to you and all good to Srila Prabhupada.
Jai, glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to the Vaishnavas, Vanshakopatu, Vishchaktiva, Sindhave, Vichatitanam, Bhavane, Vaishnave, Namo Namaha.
And it's all yours, Maharaj.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Dvaita Chandra, Jaya Gohar Bhakta Vinda, Siya Viprajanena Prabhu Nayana Karagara Tanhar Prarananai, Tenra Atra Graha Kare. The Brahmana knew that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu never went to anyone else's house. Yet due to inspiration from the Lord, he earnestly requested him to accept this invitation. So the Lord injected within this Brahman's mind for him to invite him for an invitation, although Lord never goes. The Brahman knew that, but Lord Chaitanya's influence in the heart of this Brahman, or in the mind of the Brahman, changed Lord Chaitanya's protocol. Next verse. Aradina Gela Prabhu Sevi Prabhavane Dekhilina Vasayachena Sanyasira Gane. The next day, when Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to the house of that Brahmana, he saw all the sannyasis of Benares sitting there. This is the Lord's plan. Sabanamaskari Gela Pada Praksalane Pada Praksalana Kari Vaisya Sayastane. As soon as the Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw the sannyasis, he immediately offered obeisances. He wanted to wash his feet. After washing his feet, he sat down by the place where he had done so. That means in the same place he washed his feet. Purport. By offering his obeisances to the Mayavadi sannyasis, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu clearly exhibited his humbleness to everyone. Vaishnavas must not be disrespectful to anyone, to say nothing of a sannyasi. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu teaches Amanina Manadena, One should always be respectful to others, but should not demand respect for oneself. A sannyasi should always walk barefoot, and therefore, when he enters a temple or a society of devotees, he should first wash his feet and then sit down in a proper place. In India, it is still the prevalent custom that one put his shoes in a specific place and then enter the temple barefoot after washing his feet. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is an ideal acharya, and those who follow in his footsteps should practice the methods of devotional life that he teaches us. Gyan Timirandasya Gina Jana Salakaya Chaksun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pistaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Tinamine Namaste. Saraswati Devi Gaudavani Pacharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Pastyatire Satarine Vanchakalpa Tarubhischa Kripa Sindhu Payevacha Putitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namaho Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhupada Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So one may wonder why Lord Chaitanya offered respects to the Mayavadis, who, as he also said, Mayavadi Krishna Aparade, they are offenders to Krishna, but still he offered respects to. There's a verse that illustrates this in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Anasuya, if you can go to 5th canto, 5th chapter, verse number 2, 552, Srimad Bhagavatam.
March, did you say Canto 2, March?
Canto 5.
Oh, Canto 5, okay.
Chapter 5, verse number 2. Mahad Seva Dwaram Mahor Vimuktis Tuo Dwaram Yositat Sangi Sangam Mahatmaste Samachita Prashanta Vimanaya Suridam Sarvo Yay. One can attain the path of liberation from material bondage only by rendering service to highly advanced spiritual personalities. Personalities are impersonalists and devotees. Whether one wants to merge into the Lord's existence or want to associate with the personality of Godhead, one should render service to the Mahatmas. For those who are not interested in such activities, who associate with people fond of women and sex, the path of hell is wide open. The Mahatmas are equipoised. They do not see any difference between one living entity and another. They are very peaceful and fully engaged in devotional service. Devoid of anger, they work for the benefit of others. Their behavior is not in any way abominable. They are known as Mahatmas. So I wanted to illustrate this particular translation. It says here that one should always respect all living entities, and here it mentions also impersonalists also. So this is from Bhagavatam. This is spoken by the Lord himself, Rishabdev, to his sons as a principle of knowledge. So Lord Chaitanya, he followed the etiquette properly. These were sannyasis, although they were Mayavadis, still they were renunciates. And still he honored them and offered respects to them. And this was also, you might say, a way to get their favor. Immediately that allowed them to notice him and to defer to him and speak with him. And then that opens up the dialogue for what the Lord wanted to teach them. That's why he came into this assembly. So it was, you might say, almost like a tactic, but still it's a principle of behavior. That the ornament of a devotee is the behavior of a devotee. A devotee may know so many things, but if their behavior is not proper, then people will not become interested in hearing from such a person. So Prabhupada would always emphasize that behavior is the quality of Vaishnava. And of course, we call that Vaishnava etiquette, and how that behavior plays itself out depends on situations and interactions with different types of people, in different groups of people, in different venues, different situations. But a devotee carries that one element, respectfulness, always giving respects to others. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, somehow I live in this world because I give respects to others. We can even respect the non-devotees, although they are not respectable by their behavior and by their lifestyle. Still, we give them respect because they're also part and parcel of Krishna. Krishna sits within the heart of all living entities, no matter what particular body or what particular activity they engage in. Still, the Lord is there. So when one is offering respects, one is offering respects not to the body, but to the soul within the body. Okay, so this is what the Lord uses as a way to get their attention and at the same time show proper behavior. They're sannyasis, so that in that sense they are renounced. And renunciation is a quality of respect in and of itself, because people in the material world, especially, even appreciate people who are renounced. They, although they don't aspire for that, sometimes they despise such persons, and other times they respect such persons, depending on the individual. But it is a quality that is even considered to be laudable, even by the non-devotees, someone who is renounced. Particularly in India, even if a person's behavior is not so good, if they are renounced or wear the garb of a sannyasi, they're considered to be respectful and they are given respect. That's the culture of India. Sometimes sannyasis and those in the renounced order take advantage of that just to get people's favor so they can gain something material from them. Such as some of these sannyasis, they go to holy places and they get respect from people there, but they want to meet the opposite sex there and take advantage of that sometimes. We see that. Prabhupada said, yeah, that goes on. And therefore, ultimately, they're not respectful, but still, um, they're still given respect, although they're acting wrongly, only because they carry the garb. But that is not our philosophy. Our philosophy is we give respects to all, and we avoid those who are materialistic or atheistic or even demoniac, or who are against the principles of Dharma. Or in other words, they create their own idea of Dharma. What is Dharma? Dharma is, there's many definitions of the word Dharma. There's Pula Dharma, there is different dharmas. People use dharma in a very loose way, but the real word dharma goes with sanatan. Sanatan means eternal. That dharma means activities. Or what is the activity? What is the eternal activities of the living entity? Is to engage in devotional service to the Supreme Personality of God. That is called Sanatan Dharma. There are, Silpa Dharma, Pula Dharma, so many kinds of dharmas, which are indicating of material activities that have a certain standard by which people connect with in order to fulfill material desires. Anyway, let's go to the next verse and continue, because this is a very lengthy discussion here. Vasishya Karla Kinchu Aishvara Prakash Mahate Jo Maya Vapukoti Sura Bas. After sitting on the ground, Lord Chaitanya exhibited his mystic power by manifesting an effulgence as bright as the illumination of millions of suns. Wow, you can imagine that. We can't. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is full of all potency. Therefore, it is not remarkable for him to manifest the illumination of suns. Lord Sri Krishna is known as Yogeshwara, the master of all mystic powers. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu, Mahaprabhu, is Lord Krishna, and therefore he can exhibit any mystic power. So this verse just indicates the position of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to some people that are not clear that he is actually Krishna himself. And therefore he contains all of the qualities of Krishna, such as mystic power. That means he can um, defy the material energy and create both illusion and wonder within the mind and hearts of anyone and everyone, and bewilderment also by his mystic power. Okay, let's go to the next verse. Prabhave akarsila sabha sanyasi raman uttila sanyasi sabdacharita asan. When the sannyasis saw the brilliant illumination of the body of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, their minds were attracted, and they all immediately gave up their sitting places and stood up in respect. To draw attention to the common man, sometimes saintly persons, acharyas, and teachers exhibit extraordinary opulences. This is necessary to attract the attention of fools. But a saintly person should not misuse such power for personal sense gratification, like false saints who declare themselves to be God. Even a magician can exhibit extraordinary feats that are not understandable to the common man. But this doesn't mean that a magician is God. It is a most sinful activity to attract attention by exhibiting mystic powers, and then to utilize this opportunity to declare oneself to be God. A real saintly person never declares himself to be God, but always places himself in the position of the servant of God. For a servant of God, there is no need to exhibit mystic powers, and he does not like to do so. But on behalf of the Supreme Personality Godhead, a humble servant of God performs his activities in such a wonderful way that no common man can dare try to act like him. Yet a saintly person never takes credit for such actions because he knows very well that when wonderful things are done on his behalf, by the grace of the Lord, all credit goes to the master and not to the servant. It's a very interesting point here. It encompasses a broader principle that whatever we can do or achieve or even attract is simply due to the mercy of the Lord. And a person may be endowed with such powers, but these powers are given. Arjuna had the power to, defeat the Kauravas, but yet after Krishna left the planet, he wanted to show, or he wanted to teach a certain principle that when Krishna left, Arjuna couldn't even defend a group of Krishna's queens who were traveling from one place to another, just to show that by my mercy and by my empowerment, you could do wonderful things. But when I withdraw that, then you are like an ordinary person. So this is very instructive for devotees to be aware of. We never take credit for any success we achieve in our execution of devotional service, or even on the material level when we exhibit certain qualities or certain activities that are impressive to the non-devotees. Everything comes from Krishna. Everything is arranged by Krishna. Krishna is the source behind everything. He says, Sarvasya Jahamriti Sani Visto Mata Smriti Agyanam Pohanam Chat. If you want remembrance, I give it to you. If you want forgetfulness, I can help you. If you want knowledge, that's also coming from me. Purusham Nishu, he says, I am the ability in all living beings. So we may not understand that. We might think, well, I've worked to achieve what I am or what I possess. But actually, without the sanction of the Lord, even your work cannot bring any success. So it goes back to all aspects of existence. A devotee always remains dependent on the Lord and humble in the sense that whatever success they may achieve, they offer to the Lord. No, that is where the success originated from the mercy of the Lord. So Srila Prabhupada would always speak about that himself. He would say, people would say, "Oh, Swamiji, you have done so many wonderful things." From Prabhupada would respond, "I don't know what wonderful I have done. I've simply tried to execute the instructions of my spiritual master. That's all." So yeah, when we try to follow very carefully the instructions given to us by our spiritual teachers and by the Lord, then we become what we say glorious in the activities of devotional service, and we can do wonderful things. But it is not by our ability alone, although we make an effort, and that effort becomes sanctioned by the Lord or not sanctioned by the Lord. He can choose. As Prabhupada would say, he can make you forget who you are simply by just turning on the forgetfulness button. He can do that. So Krishna is so intelligent and so powerful and so diverse and so what we might say all pervading. The Christians say he is omnipresent, omniscient, and omnipotent. He's all powerful, he's everywhere, and he's all good. That's a very good description of the character of the Lord. Everything is coming from him. Therefore, a devotee works in such a way as to serve the Lord and wants to please the Lord by that service, by offering the best of everything to the Lord, but knowing behind the scenes the mercy of the Lord is there to make something acceptable or not acceptable. That's Krishna. And here it says sometimes the common man are impressed by the devotees, but the devotees should not use that simply to become, take an opportunity to take advantage of others. There's people who have mystic power and they like to exhibit that, and they try to make some followers or make some pecuniary gain through their mystic power. When then, in other words, they're using that as a means for self-interest, and that becomes material now. It's no longer has anything to do with spiritual. Spiritual means for Krishna. Material means for me. That's the difference. Sometimes people ask, what is the difference between material and spiritual? When you perform an activity for yourself, that's material. When you perform the activity as a service to Krishna, that's spiritual. That's the complete and definition of material and spiritual. So a devotee wants to act only on the behalf of the Lord and please the Lord, because knowing when the Lord is pleased, then everything becomes wonderful and the devotee life becomes successful and happy. So a devotee always tries to please the Lord by carrying the mood of that service as a means for pleasing the Lord. We ask the Lord, please accept this offering, or we act in such a way, or we serve in such a way as to do it in the best possible way with a desire to offer it to the Lord, to offer to the Lord's devotees, which are actually just as equally as good. So a devotee remains happy and free from reactions. We get reactions to the activities we perform, and when we have a desire to achieve happiness or anything, some personal material gain through an activity, then we put ourselves under the control of the external energy, and there's happiness and distress. But in spiritual life, there is no distress. There is only happiness and there's only success. Even if the activity doesn't come out ideally or according to the desire of the practitioner, still, if it's offered to the Lord with devotion, it's accepted and that is considered to be perfect. Okay, so here Lord Chaitanya is using some tactics, and what happens now? The sannyasis have stood up to honor him, seeing his effulgence. They are overwhelmed. Who is this personality? And then Prakasananda Saraswati, who is the head of the Mayavadis, will start speaking to Lord Chaitanya, and then there will be a discussion on philosophy. Okay, can stop here.
Thank you so much, Maharaj, for really covering this nice aspect of respect, which is a very nice, important Vaishnav etiquette that as devotees we should try to aspire for. Would like to request devotees, if you can please, lost the train of my thoughts here. Turn on your cameras. For some reason, I forgot that language. If you could turn on your cameras wherever possible, and we could have it as an association. If you have questions, please do raise your hand, and we have one right up now. Sri Devi, you're on. You are mute, Sri
Dear Guru
Devi.
Maharaj,
Okay, there you go. You're good now. Go ahead.
okay. Dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Guru Maharaj, as you were speaking about respect, I was thinking about certain situations where if we show respect, we are considered weak and people bully us. I've seen this especially in India, on bus station, train stations, at the ticketing office and all. They're aggressive, they're rude. And if you behave like a mouse, then they become even more loud and aggressive. While if you match their aggression and say something back to them, then everything goes normally from that point on. So in such situations, I don't behave like a Vaishnava. I'm sorry to say this. I match the aggression with aggression, and then things go all right.
Yeah,
I don't know whether I should not do that or I should continue doing that because it's survival.
all right, you're one of them, so you know what to do anyway. You're coming from the same background. So, so they can recognize a fellow, combatant. But if you become a mouse, then that's not bad. But to give you a more philosophical answer, if people act the way they do, you don't want to, you know, become like them and act in the same obnoxious way. That's not our program. Yeah, we don't give up our character just to fight with someone. Unless somebody's trying to cheat you, then that's a different thing. Then you have to be careful not to be cheated. But if someone is, I mean, you know what it's like traveling in India, so.
I don't know. Sometimes I think that a really saintly person will behave in a saintly way no matter where they are, with whom they are, how they are. Of course, I'm not saintly. I don't claim any such thing, Guru Maharaj. I'm just trying to survive. So I think maybe the time will come when I'm, having more pious credits in my account and I can behave in a better way. But that's all I'm capable of right now.
Yeah, that's not an excuse. Because how long will right now last? The rest of your life? So, no, well, devotee has to behave properly in all situations, even though people act wrongly. We shouldn't become like them just to somehow or other, you know, feel good about ourselves. No, it's not. No, that's not. You may ignore them, but you may not, become like them. That's not Vaishnav.
So that's why I'm asking this question, Guru Maharaj, because if you're very soft and very sweet and very gentle and very kind, they think you're a wimp and they bully you.
No, I don't know if that's true. No, I don't experience that.
I mean, I'm in a woman's body. That's why I'm saying that.
Well, I mean, because you're a woman, you get less respect and less politeness towards you because you're in a woman's body.
Generally, males are very dominant in this culture, Guru Maharaj. In general, I'm not talking about Vaishnav devotee circles. I'm talking about in general in the streets, on the roads, rickshaw drivers everywhere, shopkeepers, ticketing offices. It's quite a different mood.
Well, just pray to Krishna. That's all. And see what he reveals to you when you're in these situations.
Yes, Guru Maharaj. My obeisances to you.
Thank you, Mataji. That was a good question. Actually, lots of women must be suffering like that way. And Guru Maharaj, in that respect, protecting ourselves, is it bad? That's what I was wondering as well.
That's not protection. Protection is your qualities.
Okay.
That's what protect you.
Yeah. But please accept my humble obeisances. I've taken over from Ansuya Mataji. So Shiv Kumar Prabhu, please go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances at your lotus feet. So, Maharaj, speaking of this topic on respect, Maharaj, I had this question for some time. Can respect and compassion coexist, Maharaj? Like the context is when I try to share bhakti with someone who is elderly or higher materially, in a higher position materially, there is this thought coming at the back of the mind, for I am being impatient in sharing, that for your age or for your material position, you should be trying to teach me and I should not be trying to share something to you. So this thought comes up. So I just wanted to understand, can this respect and compassion coexist, Maharaj?
It can, but doesn't mean it always will. It can coexist, but it doesn't mean it's going to always coexist. People are different. Situations are different.
Mm. Mm.
Use your intelligence and always avoid committing offenses to others.
Okay. Mm.
Someone doesn't want to be advised by you, then don't do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji. Krishna Kaviraj Prabhu.
Glorious Srila Prabhupada. Much I have a comment and a question. A quick comment following on from Sri Devi Mataji's point. I've been in situations where everyone is pushing and shoving and going, like for example, getting on the bus and everyone's pushing and shoving to get on the bus, and then I think I'll just let them go and I'll just sing, I'll just chant, and then I find the next time the driver comes around and he points me out and says, "You come on first." So there is someone that's protecting you. There is someone that's taking care of you, even if you do. So you're not really allowing it. If someone was bullying you, you would do something. But if they're just behaving the way you expect them to behave in that situation, then we can just allow them to, because we will get what we want. We will get what we need anyway. I find anyway. I've had that particularly at Bangladesh. The youngsters and everyone else is pushing and shoving, and I just sit back and like allow them to. And then it almost felt like I was getting preferential treatment the next time because the driver could see what's happening.
That's nice.
Mm.
Sometimes when you get pushed, you feel pressured, so you try to push back. Just so
It's like,
just to relieve the pushing of others pushing on you. It's almost natural. Don't worry about these little things. These things don't get so caught up in them. Just act properly, that's all. If you always
we should.
thing is
Sorry, yeah.
thing is if we practice remembering Krishna and always in every situation, we're always in the best position to do the right thing, to do the thing that will be the most beneficial. Just remember Krishna. So
When we're giving respects to others, it feels like there should be something higher for devotees because devotees are special.
well, there's ordinary parlance that people give respect to each other as an etiquette. That's a human interaction. People say hello. People, you maybe allow someone else to go first instead of oneself if they're in line, or sometimes we say something pleasant to them. Yeah, so I mean there is ordinary parlance. Or you might say the etiquette of human behavior. When someone does something, sometimes you say thank you. Well, thank you is not generally something that is done always, but people have accepted that idea of thank you now to be everything. I notice how thank you now has such great effects on people when you say thank you.
I think
But
it's in the delivery.
in Vedic culture, there was no such interaction of people who would say thank you. People would do something for another person, and that if that person said thank you, that person who did it would feel insulted because I'm serving you for my benefit. Why are you telling me thank you? That's called breaking the trust, breaking the mood. But now that has become ordinary, it's become regular, and even in India, I remember I said thank you to somebody, but I said it in such a nice way that their response was even better than I expected. So, we don't, the idea is keep your mind on your business, and as you interact with people, just be polite and respectful and keep moving. That's all.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Yeah, what can you do?
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for your comments. Anyone else? Any devotees have got any comments, any questions? It's an important Vaishnava etiquette topic.
That's there. There's other points in that narration too.
Exactly.
Point of not trying to present yourself as being great to others so you can impress others. That was also there.
True. Humble.
Yeah. We give a course on Vaishnava etiquette. Bhakti Charu Swami was the epitome of Vaishnava etiquette. He lived it, he practiced it, he taught it, and he wrote about it too. And we have books that has been written by him on Vaishnava etiquette. Satyarup Maharaj also wrote a book on Vaishnava etiquette that goes back to the early days of the 1970s. The 26 qualities of a devotee, along with another section on behavior, the proper behavior of a devotee. And that behavior expands itself in different areas, such as behavior in kirtan, behavior with the Mayavanis, behavior with elders, behavior with juniors, behavior with seniors, behavior with equals, behavior with in taking prasadam. There's so many. All of this is called Vaishnava etiquette. Lord Chaitanya extolled that as being the ornament of a devotee. Sanatana Goswami was the pinnacle of Vaishnava behavior. And actually, Srila Haridas Thakur also, Sanatana Goswami glorified Srila Haridas by saying, some people preach, but their behavior is not very, good. And some people, they behave very good, but they don't preach. And then he concluded by saying, you preach and your behavior is good, so you're the best of all Vaishnavas.
Thank
So
you.
behavior itself is actually preaching.
Mm,
And if you don't preach, of course, we recommend devotees to be an instrument to help others. But even if you don't, your behavior is preaching itself.
mm,
And that means giving respect to others. That's the essence of proper behavior.
mm,
Being a well-wisher to others.
mm.
We're even a well-wisher to the non-devotees who have made a mess of their lives. We pray that somehow how they can somehow or other rectify themselves and come back to a more normal lifestyle so they can understand the goal of life.
Mm.
So devotees are well-wisher for everyone.
Yeah. So the
Even-
best way of preaching is just be a model, isn't it, Guru Maharaj?
What's that?
Best way of preaching is to be the model of like behaving in the actual Vaishnava etiquette.
Yeah.
Then we can.
You'll see how Lord Chaitanya uses that behavior to attract their attention. And when he gets their full attention, then he speaks what is actually the standard.
Mm.
Mhm.
Thank you so much, Guru Maharaj. Darya
But
Mataji?
Guru Maharaj, I
So-
have a lot of Kshatriya blood in me. I like fighting. So what do I do?
You can fight with me because I like to fight too. So, and I'll let you win sometimes. Just to make you feel good.
No, no. I can't fight with you, Guru Maharaj. That's impossible.
You've been fighting with me for years. What do you mean you can't?
Oh my- I'm not going to say anything more now.
But anyway, I learned to duck those, those uppercuts and those side swings. And I kind of I learned how to defend myself. But that's okay. I understood your nature and therefore I had to deal with it, but it was fun. Although sometimes I felt like I wanted to, get out of the ring. But there was no one to take my place, so I had to stay in. If you know what I'm talking about, right? But now the fighting is over. Now we're friends because you finally found your position after all these years. And that was we raised the flag and we had a ceremony and everything was wonderful. The only thing we forgot to do was to distribute prasadam, but anyway, we'll get to that.
Okay. Okay, Darya Mataji, please go ahead. Thank you. Mataji is really embarrassed.
She's okay. She likes a good fight.
My name is Mud now, Guru Maharaj. All my god sisters and god brothers are going to look at me like, oh my god, where did this louse come from?
No, they still love you because you have another side that's pretty good.
Yes, definitely.
But it was fun. I mean, not always, but sometimes it was fun. I realized it was just part of my service. That's all.
I think Guru Maharaj is not only Sri Devi Mataji. You have to bear all of us, isn't it? We all are like that.
The only thing that kept me in the ring was the fact that you were preaching. If you weren't preaching, I would have gave up on you long ago. Because you were preaching Krishna consciousness and you were helping people, and people would come to me, oh, Sri Devi, she helped me so many ways. Oh, what a nice disciple you have. Everybody, no one ever came to me and said anything negative. So I was thinking, all right, so I'll stay in the ring and try to work this one out. But you helped so many people, and many of them were so inspired they wanted to come to me and just tell me about you. Yeah, that's happened many times. I'm not, that's not an exaggeration.
Okay.
Yeah. You changed people's lives to Krishna consciousness, many people.
Amazing service.
Yeah. And now you're doing both preaching and you're fixed in your service. So now you're nicely situated. Continue.
Yes, Guru Maharaj, this is really a very wonderful service because I'm getting the opportunity to not just treat the babies, to train the mothers in various aspects of child rearing, including spirituality. So that is a very rewarding thing to help them understand that right from the beginning, training the mothers to impart spiritual knowledge to the kids like that.
Yeah. Not, it's the knowledge starts in the womb. Daria had a question. Is she still?
Yeah, Darya Mataji, you had a question. Go on, please. Mataji, we can't hear you. Sorry.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now we can hear
Yes,
you.
okay. Regarding saying thank you and getting as an offense because you're doing this for your purification, I was wondering, is it selfish to think that we are doing services for our own purification?
That's true. I mean, why would you do it? Otherwise, it's all about you. But when you put Krishna first, you're putting yourself first. You have to understand that because you're part and parcel of Krishna. You can never be separated with Krishna. So when you please Krishna, you're pleased. When you serve Krishna, you're actually elevating your consciousness to the spiritual platform. When you try to serve yourself as a body, you're doing the worst, you're harming yourself actually, because you're not the body, you're the soul. So Krishna is the source of all success in everything. So making Krishna the object of our service, the object of our glorification, the object of everything means to elevate ourselves to the spiritual platform. But devotees don't think like that. a neophyte devotee, a new devotee will think like that. But one who's fixed in Krishna consciousness always thinks how to please Krishna. Mm. When Krishna is pleased, they become happy, they become satisfied, and Krishna reciprocates.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you, Darya Mataji. That was a good question. Amrita Namatji.
Here's another
Hare
Kshatriya.
Krishna.
You two hang out together too. Like,
I just met her today, Guru Maharaj. So she was celebrating, and I mean, I was welcomed. I'm grateful to her. She gave me cake, so thank you for that.
yeah, yeah, you guys are very similar.
We are glad you are there with us, Guru Maharaj.
Yeah.
So, Guru Maharaj, my question was, oh, my humble obeisances, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. So, Guru Maharaj, my question was, when females are, say, mistreated, there are a lot of versions of mistreatment, but I would just use this word. When females are mistreated, I've noticed that, you know, say two girls, they're both beautiful, both trained in a same manner, but one doesn't go undergo that mistreatment or exploitation, and the other one does go. So I was just wondering, is it karma related?
I think so. Yeah. If they're similarly trained and have similar characteristics, but their lives are different, then that's karma generally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, their karma is also formulated by their desires. Mhm. So as they're getting their previous karma, they're also building new karma too.
So even in devotee community, it happens. If something like that happens, then we can say that it is karma related, or it is
Could be,
part of purification.
it could, yeah, it's definitely, it's purification. The getting, the cashing in of karma is actually purification. It's called parabdha karma. That karma, which you still have to work with, you still have to overcome. It's called parabdha karma. But it may not be full karma. When Krishna is involved, it's not full karma. There is the element of purification that's also there.
So, Gumal, what can be advised as a solution to such a person? Because females are usually when they are exploited and assaulted or something like that, it really becomes a very ugly situation for them, even though they haven't done anything in this life. So, should
Oh,
we just advise them?
well, how are they accepting it? Are they accepting it or are they fighting it?
Uh, Accepting it as in the females don't do, but they undergo the exploitation through male community, and then sometimes they're so helpless that they don't understand what to do. The system is like usually very wide. They can't uh, they can't do anything with the system. So only the Harinam is the option.
Well, I've seen females who are a little bit intelligent. They don't tolerate that and they sort of go away from it. and they start becoming independent of that relationship. I've seen that. It happens. Others will just accept it as their karma, and others accept it as the reaction to their duty, that this is their duty, and they have to accept whatever comes by way of duty. But no one should abuse anyone. No male has a right to abuse female in the name of, abuse is not, sometimes people need to be corrected, but not in a way that is abusive. Females are more inclined to emotions, and emotions can go in different ways. So a lot of times women make mistakes, but men should be tolerant of that and guide them back instead of punishing them. But sometimes the male gets fed up when the woman keeps making the same mistake all the time. So then he gets a little heavy, but that doesn't mean he's right. To mistreat anyone in the name of correction is not correction. It's just harshness. And harshness is a demoniac quality.
Right, Guru Maharaj. Sometimes, Guru Maharaj, it is also seen that not just in relationships, but in the senior and junior relationships, this kind of exploitations are also there, even in temples. So this should be notified. Sometimes they're not addressed properly.
Well,
So
if it should come to the notice of the temple authorities, and they shouldn't allow that. It's duty of the authorities to make sure everything goes on nicely within the temple. Everything should be focused on worship and devotion, and not on personal, negative interactions. If that comes, then we ask the people, if you're going to act like that, then better go somewhere else. Or stop acting like that, and then you can stay. But the atmosphere of the temple should never be disturbed, because other people will be affected by that, and then they'll also stop coming.
yes, Guru Maharaj, this is a sort of negative preaching sometimes, because when this spreads, this becomes negative preaching.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Krishna Kaviraj Prabhu.
I have a question, Maharaj. It's a question on a quotation about Srila Prabhupada, and I wanted to ask you, but I need to read the quote first. So this is from Atreya Rishidas, and he said, "When I think of Srila Prabhupada, what comes to me is the need to cry, because I couldn't step up to really sense and taste the degree of love and mercy in every word and every gaze he was offering me." So that kind of hit me, but then I was thinking, how can I step up and sense and taste the love and mercy that's being given to me?
When you accept it, just accept it. And then use it into your life. Then you will appreciate it, and then you'll understand it, and then you'll start crying yourself.
What do you mean by accept it, Raj?
Yeah, just whatever Prabhupada's trying to give you. He gives you guidance, he gives you instructions, he gives you corrections. Take them. Make them the focus of your practice. And if you're not sure if something applies to you or not, then you need to get some clarification by doing further research on your own or going to another senior devotee and getting their advice. When Prabhupada's not personally present, his compassion is still there through his words, through his deity, through his devotees. He's still coming through in different avenues.
That makes sense. I do feel it's coming from different sources. Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Thank you. Thank you, Prabhuji. There is a question in the chat by Brajajana Priya Mataji. She's asking, what characteristics of Vaishnava etiquette do you believe are key and should not be forgotten if we aspire to be mature Vaishnava?
Yeah, forgiveness. When one is put in a situation of difficulty, learn how to forgive. Austerity is very important. Austerity brings about more devotion to austerity, gets us off the bodily platform. And humility is the king of all virtues.
Thank you. I hope that helps, Mataji. Krishna. Thank you. Any more questions? Okay, Sakshi Mataji.
We have 10 minutes left.
Yes, I was just about to say, but Sakshi Mataji has already raised hand. Go on, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Guru Maharaj, you mentioned one point that endeavors are in our hand. Endeavors are in our hand, but ultimately Krishna sanctions whether he is going to do or allow us to do that or not. So my question is, suppose we are failing in putting some endeavors and we are trying again and again and again, but we are not able to get, we are not able to come up with a solution for something. So how do we know that?
That requires some intelligence. Sometimes you have to persevere, and sometimes you have to realize you're going in the wrong direction. You could have to use your intelligence to discriminate. And if you can't do it, get help, It's not always you give up because it's not working, and it's not always you keep going because it's not working. You have to understand what is the situation. And then you have to decide based on that. It's not that easy. And as Prabhupada says, if you want to become a devotee, you have to be intelligent. He said, this movement is for people who are intelligent. If you're not intelligent, get some intelligence. Otherwise, you can't, the tools are there, but the application is your intelligence. That you have to apply. The philosophy is there, the ingredients are there, everything's there. Now take it and apply it in an intelligent way. And then you might say, I don't have intelligence. When Prabhupada was told that, Prabhupada said, if you don't have intelligence, then get some. That's what it takes. You have to be, it takes some discrimination to see a situation. Is it one way or is it the other way, Discrimination is the feature of intelligence. The mind sometimes cannot discriminate, but the intelligence that's the factor of discrimination. Determination and discrimination are the two features of intelligence. Yes or no, The mind will tell you to do something. Intelligence will restrict you, knowing it's not good for you, or vice versa. So yeah, not every situation is going to be handed to you. You have to use your intelligence. That's why sometimes we say, get married, and then the intelligence doubles. Sukava shook her head. I'm not sure what she was thinking. But even if your partner's not so intelligent, you can use your intelligence to make him intelligent. So that helps your intelligence.
It's other way around, Guru Maharaj.
Oh, yeah, that would be better. But yeah, yeah. That's why they say a man is rational, a woman is emotional.
Very
And
true.
if you could combine the two, then you have a nice working feature. Prabhupada said, I have the mind of an English army officer and the heart of a Bengali mother. That means a lot of compassion and love, but at the same time, a lot of intelligence. So that's what it takes to become Krishna conscious. You have to blend these two things together.
Thank you so much for
And each one of those is available. So if you're lacking in one area, you can find how to fulfill that.
Very powerful instructions, Guru Maharaj. Thank you. Thank you, Mataji.
Mhm.
Sridevi Mataji. We
I
only
would
have
like to
5 minutes left now.
I would like to share that I went to a devotee girl's wedding here yesterday, and very nice devotee girl. She met her husband in her office. They became good friends, and later on, they decided to get married. He was not a devotee, but she was so intelligent in her handling of him, his family. She made him into a devotee, and later on, his mother became a devotee. So she made her husband and her mother in law into devotees. I was like, wow, this girl is so intelligent, so kind, and her nature is very, very sweet also. So I kept thinking that this girl has many good qualities, and seeing that, I think convinced them more than anything else to take up Krishna consciousness. And it was a wonderful devotee wedding, Mahamantra playing all the time, very nice devotional atmosphere, prasadam offered to everyone. It was so heartwarming to be in that wonderful Krishna conscious marriage atmosphere. Very, very nice.
Yeah, we can learn from that. We can learn from those who are successful. Not only you should be able to see the instructions of your spiritual master everywhere and in everything, not simply in one place. The Avanti Brahmin, he had 24 gurus. And so from each one of those 24 gurus, he learned something. And they were the wind, the mountain, the dog, the prostitute, the what is it? So many different. It's in the 11th canto. You can see the 24 gurus. And so spiritual master is there, but what he teaches is also coming to you through other people. You have to be very perceptive to realize that. Don't become so much concerned about the person. Try to see what they say and do, and then judge based on that. Of course, we're concerned about the person too, but when, as it says, you can even take gold from a filthy place. You can marry a girl from an obscure family. You know, so there's many statements that something is not accept and not, likable, but still it has good qualities to it also. Even the non-devotees can give you instructions. Okay, so we'll stop here.
Thank you so much, Guru Maharaj. Yes, there is no question in the chat. There is no hand raised, so we'll conclude it.
We started this process of ending with a particular analogy of Prabhupada.
Okay.
So each analogy has a particular day connected with. So today is March 10th. So in this March 10th analogy, it says, so a branch cut off from the tree loses nourishment and gradually withers, no matter how strong it once appeared. A branch cut off from the tree loses nourishment and gradually withers, no matter how strong it once appeared. Srila Prabhupada's statement. Srila Prabhupada, quoting Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, explains that Advaitacharya is the powerful trunk of the Bhakti Kalpataru devotional tree. But those who neglect the root, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, become like dead branches. Without connection to Mahaprabhu, even learned scholars, renunciants, or great descendants of great acharyas dry up spiritually, no matter how respectable one lineage is or external status one may be. Spiritual life cannot survive without the living current of Lord Chaitanya's mercy. This is the fate of those who reject the watering of the original gardener. Disconnected from Lord Chaitanya, their bhakti withers. Srila Prabhupada warns that it's not heritage, scholarship, position, but sincere obedience to Mahaprabhu's instructions that sustains the living force of devotion. Lesson: spiritual life dies the moment we disconnect from Lord Chaitanya's instructions, regardless of status, learning, or lineage. How fundamental he is to everything we do and to the success of our devotional service.
That was wonderful. Thank you so much, Guru Maharaj. Thank you, dear devotees, for joining.
Does anybody out there want a free gift? I have a free gift to give to somebody who doesn't have the gift. You have to have it. The free gift is a set of Chaitanya Charitamritas. Does anybody want a set of Chaitanya Charitamrita? But you have to say you don't have one first. Gauri Priya, you want one? You don't want one? You want one? Okay. All right. So we'll send you a set of Lord Chaitanya's free. We have a free gift available.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Lucky.
Satyabhama. Satyabhama is the distributor, and she, Satyabhama, she hosts us every once in a while.
Yes.
Connect with her and tell her that you are the recipient of the Chaitanya Charitamrita, and she will arrange for you to receive it.
Amazing.
Wow. Thank you so much. Wow.
Congratulations, Mataji.
Thank you.
Anybody else out there? We have one more left. Raj, you don't have one?
No, Guru Maharaj, I don't have my personal set of Chaitanya Charitamrita with me.
Okay, now you have to read it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you connect with Satyabhama and she'll give you. We had two sets that were still available from people who sponsored sets. So these two are just now distributed. So Gauri Priya and Raj.
Lucky winners.
And she'll arrange for you to get it.
Thank you
I
so
will.
much.
Don't blame me. She gets the credit.
Raj Prabhu, did you have a question as well?
Yeah, maybe I can ask in next
Session, please. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you
Chaitanya
very much.
Charitamrit ki jai. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. His Holiness Candramauli Swami Maharaj ki jai. Thank you, everyone.
Hari, Hari,
Hare
Hari.
Krishna. Thank you, Guru
Thank you
Maharaj.
so much, Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Hare
Guru Maharaj.
Krishna,
Thank you,
thank you
Guru
so much,
Hare
everyone. Thank you so much,
Krishna.
Maharaj.